There was a young man who had a dream. He dreamed of going to the moon. He would look up at the moon and imagine what it would be like to walk on its surface. The young man saved his money, and when he had enough, he bought a rocket. He blasted off into space, but unfortunately, the rocket wasn't very well built and it crashed. The young man was found by a search and rescue team and returned safely to Earth. Although disappointed, he didn't give up on his dream. He worked hard to improve his rocket design, and one day, he finally reached the moon. Standing on the lunar surface, the young man realized that all the hard work had been worth it. Hello, friends. Today, I will share with you a motivational story and a long story. Both stories have the same name, The Journey of a Dreamer. Let's start with the motivational story. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a young man who dreamed of becoming a famous scientist. Every night he would look up at the stars and dream of exploring the universe. But the villagers thought that his dream was silly and pointless. They said, "Why bother dreaming of far-off things when you can't even take care of yourself?" The young man was sad, but he didn't give up on his dream. He studied hard and eventually became the greatest scientist of all time. He discovered new planets and stars and made many other amazing discoveries. One day, the villagers saw the young man on television and they were amazed. They realized that he had achieved something great and that their taunts had been wrong. From that day on, they never doubted the young man's dream again. Now let's move on to the long story. In the 1960s, the United States and the Soviet Union were in a race to explore space. The two superpowers were competing to see who could achieve what first, and the stakes were high. President John F. Kennedy was determined to put a man on the moon before the end of the decade. But the journey to the moon was a difficult one, and there were many obstacles to overcome. The astronauts had to deal with the harsh environment of space, including the cold, the darkness, and the isolation. But they also had to deal with the pressure of knowing that their lives could end at any moment. Despite the danger, 12 astronauts were selected for the Apollo program and trained for years to prepare for the mission. They learned how to operate the spacecraft, how to perform experiments, and how to deal with emergencies. Finally, the day arrived when the first astronauts were launched into space. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human being to walk on the moon. He took one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. The United States had won the race to the moon. But the victory was not just a matter of national pride, it was a triumph of the human spirit. It showed that if humans set their minds to it, they could accomplish anything. I hope you enjoyed both the motivational story and the long story. Which one was your favorite? Why? I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you liked the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss out on any of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.